Welcome to Water Online Radio. Coming to you live from New Orleans, Louisiana. Broadcasting from WEFTEC, the water quality event. And now, here are your hosts, Todd Schnick and Todd Youngblood.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Water Online Radio, coming to you live from WEFTEC here in New Orleans, Louisiana. I am Todd Schnick, joined by my very, very jealous colleague, Todd Youngblood. Todd,
thirsty colleague.
This one should be an interesting conversation.
Just keep the lightsaber handy. You may need it.
The lightsaber is close at hand. I want to say hello to our next guest, who we're a little bit angry with, but it should be a great conversation nonetheless. Say hello to Chuck Hansen, who is the chairman and CEO of Electro Scan. Welcome to the show, Chuck.
Hey, thanks so much. Look, I just want to tell you that this could have almost been three Todds. My mom almost named me Todd, so it would have been Todd, Todd, and Todd. That would have been weird.
Well, we do actually, and one of the Water Online guys that's here is Todd, so it would have been 3.5 Todds.
Totally confused.
We could have had him join that interview. That would have been fun.
We could have. Yeah, we could have.
Chuck, before we get into it, take a second and tell us a little bit about you and your background.
I'm just coming out of retirement. I sold Hansen Information Technologies back in 2007, a software company that catered to water, sewer, highway departments, did that. And, after 3-4 years in a bathrobe, I came upon a business opportunity with this company called Electro Scan. Liked it so much, did some due diligence, bought the company in November, and we're here at the show as the platinum sponsor.
Outstanding. Well, tell us all about Electro Scan. What do you do? How do you serve your market?
I think traditionally people are familiar with closed-circuit television inspection, CCTV, and put a camera in a pipe, and you'll look at the defects. The operator will go down and look at the pipe and record the defects based on a standard. In the UK, it's WRC, and US is PACP. What Electro Scan does, it is a probe that is surrounded by water and actually finds every leak in a sanitary sewer pipe, any non-conductive pipe. So that's what we do. We find leaks, and for any city, county, sewer utility that's under EPA consent decree, this is the solution.
Talk a little bit more about the technology. Is there anything unique in it? Gotta be.
Todd's. Can I just call you Todd's then if you're here?
That's
if you'd only come down to
if you bring us beer, you can call us Todd.
You can call us anything if you bring us beer.
Look, and I especially, because as a platinum sponsor, I did bring my own TV truck, a combo rig. But for your standpoint, it was not only a combo rig for CCTV and Electro Scan, but it did have a double kegerator attached to it. Look, Electro Scan is interesting. One of the PowerPoints we put together, we actually have Indiana Jones. And you know the scene where he's leaning over Sean Connery, and he's got that golden chalice. Sean's been shot. And so what happens is pours it on, it's the Holy Grail. And so what now Electro Scan is being proven to do, what no other technique has done for inspecting sewers, is we actually come up with the gallons per minute, and for your UK audience, that's liters per second, the gallons per minute of infiltration going into the pipe. And for so many years, whether it's smoke testing, dye flood testing, surface testing, dye flood, CCTV, no one has really broken the back on that gallon per minute of leakage in a sewer pipe. And we've brought that through papers and presentations at this trade show.
Well, why is that important for us to know that?
Well, look, here's the deal. Let me give you an example. So we build these huge treatment plants in all of our communities. And what do? Well, when we flush the toilet, it goes down the pipes and it's treated at the end. Unfortunately, when it rains, in a rainfall-dependent event, if there are leaks in a pipe, that rainwater, instead of going to a storm drain, will go into the sanitary sewer system and unnecessarily be transported down to the treatment plant where there is a specific cost of treating that wastewater. That rainwater belongs in the storm drain. And so what the EPA and communities really are going for is taking out that infiltration that is seeping in, percolating down through all of these leaks into the pipe. And for 50 years, we haven't really been able to identify where those leaks are coming. So every gallon that we can eliminate of rainfall infiltration is a gallon less we have to treat at this huge treatment plant and forego capital costs that our cities can't afford.
Well, keep going on that theme of cost, more than the capital cost. What's the economic impact?
So the economic impact is major. I'll give you an example. Milwaukee Metro Sewer District has 2 large treatment plants. They don't have any of the collection system. So what happens is they've got 23 cities Milwaukee, Wauwatosa, just a number of the neighboring communities that collect the sewage and take it down to the treatment plant. On an economic basis, when it rains in Wauwatosa, for example, that rainwater will go down to the treatment plant, and oftentimes will surcharge at the treatment plant 2 times its design capacity. That is either going to go into the lake or over into a pond, and that's all untreated sewage. So as you take a look at the cost of treating that unnecessary water, this is a value of identifying where those leaks are. So our technology, Electro Scan, that is hooked up, we're now showing it for the very first time, hooked up to a TV rig. We take off the television camera, we put on our probe, we can put that in any sewer main, any sewer lateral, and find and locate and quantify the leak potential for any pipe.
You obviously see a lot of value in WEFTEC as did you say a platinum sponsor?
Yeah,
that's a significant investment, I imagine. Why is that so important to ElectroScan?
Well, while I was the CEO for Hansen Information Technologies, I think I've been in the sewer business since 1983. So that would be 2 wives ago. So now I'm wife number 3. So it's been a long time. It's been a long journey for me, Todd. WEFTEC has been just an outstanding opportunity for the water industry, wastewater collection authorities, the consulting community that needs to see that information, and it has been, having 2 bars in our 2 various booths here and the TV truck has been a great draw. We've had some great conversation. I've been able to reconnect with some old friends that were surprised to see my name back in the industry, and we've already, as of this morning, have already committed for next year's WEFTEC in Chicago to be the platinum sponsor next year.
Todd, did you notice Chuck almost called his gentleman, but then stopped himself?
He did stop himself. I didn't notice that.
I just wanted to point that out.
I did, because you're eyeballing the Electro Scan beer mug that I brought, and I really resent that. And I already apologized for not bringing a pony keg down here.
We're going to shame you into it again. I have a question, though. We're talking about sewer pipes. There's all kinds of pipes that carry all kinds of stuff that can leak. Why limit this thing to sewer pipes?
So this technology actually came out of the oil patch. Schlumberger had various patents on this for doing the same kind of electronics, this electroscanning of a pipe in an oil and gas field. This technology, so we borrowed that technology, we converted it for non-conductive pipes, so that would be asbestos concrete, that'd be reinforced concrete, brick, plastic lining, and one of the big fears for a lot of the lining companies, these are the guys that would actually line a pipe when you rehab a pipe. We actually now have the technology with ElectroScan to certify all of the lining that's done out there. Today, lining companies really get away scot-free without any certification. Doing a lining job, relining a sewer to go ahead and fix that sewer, there's really no technology. You put a CCTV camera down a sewer pipe, you can't really see any defects. The pipe is dry. You just rehab the line. Of course the pipe looks good. With ElectroScan, we can now go through that relined pipe, examine every crevice, every crease, every service connection, every beginning and end of the pipe, and we can now tell the agency whether that pipe leaks or not. So we see this as not only a pre-rehabilitation condition assessment technology, but a post-rehabilitation. After they're spending these millions of dollars making sure, and frankly, cities ought to be pretty concerned about this, because some of the early tests that we've done on recently lined jobs, pipes that have been relined just in the last 5 years, is finding in many of the line pipes leaks at the service connections that were missed when they TV'd it.
Who's your customer? Who are you selling to? Is it the municipality?
Municipalities, of course, because they're the owner of the asset. But contractors, we're very delighted. We announced 20-plus dealers at this show. We just signed an agreement with Australia, New Zealand. I just came out of the UK a couple of weeks ago and visited with some of those guys, and everyone is having the same problem. Frankly, we're now owning the rights and the patents for these things, and delighted to get that out to the community.
Chuck, I hate to say it, we've had a lot of fun, but we're out of time. Before we let you go, how can people get in touch with you, and where can they learn more about ElectroScan?
They can go to our website, www.electroscan.com. They can email me, chuck@electroscan.com, and follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and we're delighted to be here. And guys, thanks so much for having me.
Our pleasure.
Chuck, almost Todd Hansen, the chairman and CEO of ElectroScan. It was a real pleasure to have you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks again.
And we'll be coming down very, very soon. All right, that wraps this segment. Water Online Radio, live from WEFTEC in New Orleans. We'll be right back.